Is EV conversion even right for classic cars? Trends come and go, but this one is getting serious. Even governments are backing it, while major voices are strongly pushing against it. Is this a brilliant upgrade, or a disrespect to automotive history? What does an EV conversion actually mean? When people talk about converting a classic car into electric, they're not rebuilding the whole car. Most of what you see stays the same. The body, the design, and the overall structure usually stays the way it is. What actually changes is underneath, like the original engine, fuel tank, exhaust system, and related parts. Then in their place, builders install an electric motor, a battery pack, and a controller that manages how power is delivered. It sounds simple, but in reality, this process takes time. Depending on the car, it can even take weeks or even months to complete. So, if the outside stays the same, but the entire heart of the car is replaced, is it still the same car? That depends on who you ask. Technically, it's the same car in terms of design, but mechanically, it becomes something completely different. Some conversions are built in a way that allows the original engine to be reinstalled later. These are called reversible builds, and they try to respect the car's history. But many conversions require permanent changes, especially when fitting large battery packs or updating the internal systems. This is why EV swaps are not always quick or simple. It's not just about removing an engine and adding a motor. Weight distribution, wiring, cooling systems, and safety, whatever it needs, should be carefully adjusted. And once all of that's done, the car may look the same from the outside, but the driving experience and the internal mechanics are no longer what they used to be. But if the process takes this much time, effort, and change, why are more and more people choosing to do it anyway? Because for many owners, keeping a car original is not always the same as being able to use it. Classic engines, especially from the 1960s and 70s, can be unreliable today. They overheat in traffic, struggle in extreme weather, and often need constant maintenance just to stay running. Even parts of them are not always easy to find, and fewer mechanics specialize in these older systems, so obviously a small issue can turn into a long and expensive repair. That's why a lot of classic cars end up sitting unused, because driving them regularly becomes difficult. But EV conversions change that. Electric systems are simpler in many ways. No oil changes, no fuel system issues, and fewer moving parts to fail. For many people, this means they can finally drive their cars daily instead of saving them for rare occasions. But it's not just about fixing problems. There's also a different kind of appeal here. Electric driving feels smooth, quiet, and consistent. Some owners prefer that modern feel. The world around them has already changed, and they want their cars to match that experience. So for these owners, converting to electric is not just a choice, it's a way to keep using the car at all. But even if it makes the car easier to live with, what about when it completely changes how the car actually performs? Well, it changes everything about how the car moves. Electric motors deliver instant torque. The moment you press the pedal, full power is available. There's no waiting for the engine to build speed or even delay between gears. In a traditional gasoline car, acceleration happens in steps. You press the throttle, the engine revs up, gears shift, and power builds gradually. That rhythm is part of how older cars feel. With an electric setup, that rhythm disappears. Power comes in one smooth, continuous flow, so there's no gear changes in the same way or interruptions. Only immediate response. This is why many EV-converted classics feel much quicker off the line than their original versions. The difference is especially noticeable in city driving or short bursts of acceleration. Now, we know they're faster in a straight line, but does that actually make it better? Not always. Battery packs add weight, sometimes a lot of it. If that weight is not distributed properly, it can change how the car handles, especially in corners. Some builds manage this well by placing batteries low and evenly across the chassis. Others end up feeling heavier and less agile than the original version. Then there's the overall driving feel. The mechanical connection of an engine, the sound, the shifting, all of that is replaced by something quieter and more controlled. Surely it feels like an upgrade for some, but for others, it removes the character that made the car special in the first place. And even if the performance improves in some ways, none of it comes without a cost. Basically, it comes to one simple reality. EV conversions are not cheap. A basic conversion can start around $20,000 to $30,000, usually for smaller cars with simpler setups. But once you move into larger vehicles, better batteries, or higher performance builds, the cost skyrockets quickly. Well-built conversions often land somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000. And in premium cases, especially with luxury cars or custom interiors, the price can go even higher. This doesn't always include the cost of the car itself. There are too many things as well, like suspension upgrades, braking systems, and electrical safety work are all often added on top, pushing the total even further. But what about the maintenance after all this? This is where things start to balance out. Electric systems have far fewer moving parts. That means less routine servicing and fewer unexpected breakdowns. For someone who wants a reliable, usable classic, this can be a major advantage. On the other hand, traditional engines come with ongoing costs. Oil changes, cooling issues, tuning, leaks, and aging components all require attention. Over time, maintaining an older gas engine can become expensive, especially if parts are rare or repairs are complex. Still, spending this much upfront doesn't feel like a simple upgrade, and somewhere it feels like a weight on the bank balance. It's literally like a gamble. Just imagine you're investing tens of thousands into a car that may or may not hold its value the same way an original would. Some see it as a smart, long-term decision, while others see it as putting too much money into something uncertain. Still, who's going to stop the companies? Of course, no one, because they know this is their chance to take advantage, since buyers are also stepping into this space. One of the clearest examples is everyone's favorite, the classic Ford Mustang. Builders have taken the 1960s Mustangs and converted them into fully electric cars, while keeping the original design intact. Even Ford Motor Company explored this idea with the Mustang Lithium project, showing how a classic platform can be combined with modern electric performance. Then Porsche models, especially the 911, have also become a major focus. Companies like Everati are rebuilding classic 911s into electric versions while trying to preserve their balance and driving feel. In the US, Electric GT is converting cars like Mustangs and Jaguars using custom-built electric systems. And these are just a few examples. There are more companies entering this space every year. This makes it clearly visible that these are not small experiments anymore. They are structured businesses with dedicated teams, engineering processes, and customers willing to spend serious money. And of course, the demand is coming from people who want something different, not just a restored classic, but a version that feels modern and unique at the same time. As more high-profile builds appear, the idea itself becomes more accepted, pushing even more people to consider it. So it's obvious that the reactions on the other side are not going to stay quiet for long. This splits in between two types of thinking. On the one side are the purists. They believe a classic car should stay exactly as it was built. For them, the engine is not just a component, it's the identity of the car. The sound of a V8, the vibration, the mechanical feel. These are not small details. They are the reason people connect with these cars in the first place. Once that engine is removed, many believe the car loses its soul. Even if it looks the same, it no longer feels like the original machine. On the other side are the innovators. They see things differently. For them, a car is not just about how it was built in the past, but how it can still exist today. If converting it to electric keeps it running, usable, and relevant, then it's not destroying the car. It's evolving it. But this divide doesn't just stay as opinions. It starts reaching much further that even major authorities have stepped into this debate. Yes, you heard it right. The Fédération Internationale des Véhicules Anciens, also known as FIVA, which focuses on protecting historic vehicles, has made its position clear. According to their guidelines, cars with fully electric conversions can lose their historic status unless the changes are reversible and the original components are preserved. In simple words, once a car is heavily modified, it may no longer be recognized as a true historic vehicle. And once that line is drawn, the tension only grows. Some car clubs and communities have already started rejecting heavily modified or EV-swapped cars from events focused on originality. There are also ongoing debates about value out there. Original cars are still seen as more authentic, while converted ones are often treated as custom builds rather than true classics. Also, how can we forget the criticism? It's going wild since people are comparing everything. Some argue that spending $50,000 or more on a conversion makes little sense when a modern electric car is already available. At the same time, others support these builds, saying they can keep cars alive instead of letting them sit unused. This is no longer just about modification. It's a complete split in how people define what a car really is. And with the opinions this divided, what does that actually mean for their value in the real market? Well, in the real market, originality still dominates. Fully original classic cars, especially with those matching engine and factory specs, continue to hold the highest value. Collectors and auction houses still prioritize authenticity over modification. These cars are seen as historical assets. The closer they are to factory condition, the more predictable their value becomes over time. That's why many buyers still avoid heavily modified builds, including EV conversions, when long-term value is their main goal. But if originality still leads the market, why are modified builds gaining attention? Because a different market is growing alongside it. You've surely heard about Restomods, right? These cars that mix classic design with modern upgrades have already created a strong space. Buyers who care more about usability than strict originality are driving this demand. EV conversions fit into this same category, but they are still newer and less predictable. Their value depends heavily on the quality of the build, the reputation of the company, and how well the car performs after conversion. Some high-end builds are already selling at strong prices, but the market is not fully stable yet. So, does converting a classic destroy its value or create something entirely new? Right now, it does both. For traditional collectors, conversion often lowers the car's historical value. But for a different group of buyers, it creates a new kind of product and modern performance inside a classic design. That's why the market feels uncertain, but it is clearly expanding. And as this demand keeps growing, it's no longer just small builders shaping this space anymore. What started as a niche idea is now becoming part of a larger industry shift. Electric vehicles are already growing globally, and that change is starting to affect the classic car world as well. Alongside this, the restomod industry is expanding. What used to be handled by small custom garages is now being taken seriously by established builders and even major manufacturers experimenting with electric classics. The shift is not just about performance or style, it's about adapting older cars to fit into a world that is already moving toward electric mobility. But this change is not happening freely everywhere. There are also rules shaping it. Yes, in many regions, regulations are starting to play a role. Regulations are basically laws and policies set by governments. In the case of vehicles, they control emissions, safety standards, and where certain types of cars are allowed to operate. Even in the UK, the government is pushing toward electric vehicles. Under Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, the plan to ban new petrol and diesel cars was moved from 2030 to 2035, showing that the shift is still happening, just a bit slower and more practical. Now, electric conversions can sometimes bypass these limits, allowing the car to remain usable under modern rules. But at the same time, there are also legal challenges. Some countries have strict modification laws, meaning converting a car to electric requires approval, inspections, or specific certifications before it can be driven legally. So, while EV conversions can solve one problem, they can also create new ones depending on where you are. And when you combine rising demand, changing laws, and divided opinions, what does this whole change actually mean? It means the car world is going through the same shift we've already seen in many other industries. Technology moves forward. New systems replace old ones, and over time, people start adapting to what feels more practical in everyday life. Electric vehicles are part of that shift. They are cleaner in use, easier to maintain in many cases, and, most importantly, supported by a growing global push toward reducing emissions. At the same time, classic cars were never just about function. They carry history, personal memories, a kind of identity that newer machines often don't replicate. That's why this debate feels so divided. Both sides are reacting to something real. But when practicality and emotion start pulling in different directions, which one actually matters more? The answer depends on what you value. Keeping a car exactly as it was built is important. The original feel is part of what makes it meaningful. But again, keeping the car usable matters more. If converting it to electric means it can still be driven, maintained, and enjoyed regularly, then that feels like the better choice. There's also a bigger reality. Fuel technology is changing, environmental concerns are growing, and not everyone can afford newer, cleaner alternatives easily. So different solutions start to appear, even if they're not perfect. That's why this isn't a simple right or wrong situation. It's a transition. And in the end, it comes down to one question. Is a classic car defined by the engine it was born with, or by the fact that it still survives? So what do you think about this whole debate? Are you on the EV side, or the classic original side? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more.